Alright, hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be doing my full review of Spider-Man 2. So I'm not going to be talking any spoilers in this, it's just going to be a review from my perspective as someone who's beat the game, you know, and fully played through it. So there will be a spoiler talk video coming later on, should be pretty soon after this video comes out. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So let's start off with the combat. So the combat is mostly same as before. You know, you have your typical punches and kicks and dodges and air attacks, you know, from the previous games. And there's, you know, a lot of different combos to unlock. A lot of combos, so much so that I kind of forgot about quite a few of them, and I was mostly just sticking to the basic attacks for the most part. Although it can be rewarding if you learn the combat system, because there's certain attacks that reward you more focus or do more damage. Like for me, I buffed my air attack a lot, so I was doing a lot of air attacks to quickly defeat enemies in the game. Let's see, there's a good variety of enemies to fight, including like Kraven's Hunters and Sandman's Goons, and more, which I'm not going to talk about yet. So differences in this game, so they added the parry, which is like, you know, this block sort of attack that you do like right before someone strikes you, and there's also some other moves that I believe can only be dodged. They have like a white color, or is it kind of light blue, and you have to press circle to dodge out of the way, I believe. You can either press X to jump out of the way or like parry or dodge some of those attacks only, and it gets kind of confusing because yeah, the yellow ones I would usually mix up. Like I would dodge when I'm supposed to parry, and I would parry when I'm supposed to dodge, and like, yeah, it takes some getting used to, but I feel like it could have been done a bit better in my opinion. I think it's a little bit confusing the way it's set up right now. So there's less gadgets this time around, which is a big change from the first game. And it makes it so that you're a lot more involved in the combat and it's more challenging. You don't have like a million gadgets to like take out enemies for you like you did in the past games, which I think is actually a good choice. While I do miss having those extra gadgets, you know, I totally understand it, and it made the combat a lot more rewarding, I want to say, because you actually have to develop your combat skills in the game. You can't just, you know, launch an infinite amount of weapons at them. So the boss fights, they are definitely a challenge in this game. They go on for a few rounds, and they get harder and harder as the rounds go on. So I gotta say, I think, you know, it's fun. The boss battles are fun and challenging, but I feel like the way the health works is a bit, I feel like it could have been done better. Like, because every time you defeat them once, their health just goes back to full, it made the boss fights feel like they went on a lot longer. Like, it felt like the boss fights were going on like forever because of that mechanic where the health would, even though it looked like they were almost done, then you defeat them, then suddenly the health is full again. Like, it would usually happen like around 3 times per boss, and it was just, I feel like I wish they had it so that you just had a small, like 3 small health bars. I think that would have been way better, because then you would actually know like when the battle's gonna be over soon, instead of just fighting them and then you kind of lose track of it and you're like, what round am I on now? Especially when you're getting defeated over and over again, you know, because some of those bosses are challenging. So yeah, I did want to add that there's a good amount of variety of bosses you get to fight in the game. Like, they're all different, you know. They'll have different types of moves to attack you with, so it gives a lot of variety, and the boss fights stay fresh throughout the game. And you know, they do get like increasingly more challenging as the time goes on, I'd say, especially like when you go from like round 1 to 2 to 3. Yeah, so overall I'd say the boss fights were pretty fun. The only thing is that it feels like it can drag on just because you don't exactly know. It's hard to know like when you're close to finishing off a boss fight in the game. The Sandman one in the beginning was pretty fun though, and it feels like you're playing like through that scene in Spider-Man 3. You guys have seen the movie. Let's see, there is less stealth missions in this game as well, whereas in the past games I feel like there was a lot of missions where you could just swing around up top and web everybody up beforehand and stealth take them out. Now in a lot of these missions you really just have to go in and fight a bunch of enemies, which I think is fine too. I feel like it's a bit more fun. I don't know, the stealth missions are cool and all, and I enjoy that aspect, but I feel like it's more challenging this way, you know, whereas with stealth you could really just take out all the enemies before you even hop in at all. Alright, so the map is much larger this time around, and it includes Queens, so it's like about 1.5 times the size, I want to say, of the first game, maybe a bit more than that. And it's pretty awesome having more area to explore now, and you know, there's more pedestrians and more cars, and of course the graphics are better, so you know, there's more detail and lighting and draw distance, etc. Yeah, so the city is definitely an improvement in this game, I'd say. It feels more colorful too and a bit more lively. It feels like different parts of the city are more distinct now, whereas in the past games I felt like the whole city had felt very much the same, even though there was like different landmarks, I guess. Whereas with this one now, you know, you have that cool carnival on the new part of the map, and there's different events where you take pictures of them happening around the city as well. So it kind of gives you, you know, a reason to explore, and also you're searching for those spider bots. Let's see. So the movement is very much the same as was in the first two games. So it's very fun, you know, and fluid, and it's easy to get around and quick. And the web swinging is like just it's just so fun. Jeez, you can just go from point A to point B, and yeah. It really makes you like not really that interested in using fast travel, or at least for me, I was more interested in just swinging around. And they also added the wingsuit, which is the newest thing, and the wingsuit is a lot of fun to use. It helps you glide through the city quickly, especially if you get in the wind tunnels. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as like the wingsuit. If you guys have played Just Cause 3, operates basically the same as that. It's good. Yeah, you combine it, you know, with swinging around, and it really gets you around quickly. I think they were probably trying to get us to use it more, because like now you don't really unlock fast travel in those different areas around the city until you do a certain amount of events. So a lot of the time you probably won't have it unlocked, and you're just gonna swing around or glide over there. It took me a while to unlock fast travel for some of those areas, so I can see there's definitely more of an emphasis on swinging around and gliding around the city in this one. Those are the main aspects to talk about. I mean, there's less puzzles. Also, that's one thing to mention. I did play through the game, and there's a lot less puzzles now than there used to be, which I think is a big improvement. I feel like in the past games there was too many puzzles for me, or at least in the very first game. In Miles Morales, there was like no puzzles, so I was pretty happy with that, but that's a good thing. The cutscenes look amazing. The characters look so detailed and lifelike, and the acting is good, and it feels like a movie. Whenever you're watching the cutscenes, it feels like a movie. So that is a big plus I can give to the game. I mean, the past games were basically the same as well. They did a great job at those. The story is great as always. I'm not going to delve into that yet. There's also like a good range of villains you fight throughout the game as well. Can't really cover that too much since I'm trying to avoid spoilers in this part of the video. Yeah, so I would say I would definitely recommend it if you guys enjoyed playing the first two games, you know, Miles Morales and Spider-Man on the PS4. It continues the story well, and I feel like I'm really interested to see what happens next, because they've done such a good job at planning out the story between these three games so far. And it seems like so rare to see. I feel like superhero stories these days are very disjointed, at least in terms of movies, and it's really awesome to see like a medium, like, or to see it in games where they're doing such a good job at that. And I think, yeah, it definitely has me excited for the future. Yeah, I'd give it a 5 out of 5, and if you guys, you know, have a chance to play it, I would really recommend it. You know, if you have the funds for it and you have a PS5, totally recommend it. Probably my favorite game that I've played in a long time. And yeah, I would recommend playing through the first two games first, just because the story is so linked to those two. That's what I would say. Play the first two if you want to get the most out of the game, but you can still enjoy it, you know, if you're just hopping into this one. Alright, well, I'm gonna end the video there. Originally, this was gonna be like one gigantic video, but it was just going on way too long, so I decided to split the spoilers off into another video, which will be coming later on, so subscribe for that, and stay tuned. If you guys want to see another video that's kind of superhero related, actually, there's this video up here where I actually talk about the time where I met the guy who plays Reverse Flash in the Flash TV show, Tom Cavanaugh. Awesome guy. Anyways, it's actually kind of related to this video because, like, you know, the guy that voiced Zoom in the Flash show is also voicing Venom in the game. Yeah. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, alright? I want to say thank you guys all so much for watching. Johnny Tech, signing out.